Motherfucker ain't gonna touch Trigga, bro. That y'all gotta understand. Trigga should still be alive, bro. But it hit different, bro, because it's like, alright, now you just did something. Y'all gotta understand what crib that is. That's Archie crib, bro.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding the death of FYB Trigga. Who was it that shot Trigga? How did the rest of the FYB members get in trouble? Why did it all even go down in the first place? A lot of questions and not many answers. However, it seems like we're getting closer to realizing what really went down that day when Trigga lost his life. Recently, FYB J Mane and a couple of other people too revealed that they really came for FYB Trigga and how it really went down. Let's go through it step by step in order to get a broader understanding of the incident. The world was struck by tragedy that took place in Chicago on Monday, the 30th of May, 2022. That day, news broke that FYB gang affiliate and rapper who went by the name of Trigga passed away. He was brought into a hospital because of the injuries that he suffered. Trigga was hit by several bullets and needed immediate medical attention. Unfortunately for the hip-hop community, his friends, family, and fans, he didn't make it. By the time the doctors started treating him, it was already too late. RIP Trigga. On that day, FYB Trigga got together with a group of friends, including some other FYB members such as Monte, Thad, and Benji. They were hanging out together drinking in the memory of their homie FYB DJ, who passed just 2 days ago. He got himself in a fight that went south quickly. Here's what happened to FYB DJ. It was a Saturday evening in Southside Inglewood when two men shot at each other after some sort of verbal argument. They were both taken to a nearby medical center, but they were pronounced dead upon arrival. In reply to what happened, one Reddit comment says, "He was one of the realest and most solid friend, brother anybody could have. This is a huge L. He's gonna have a ripple effect on his guys. RIP DJ." Little did this person know that another tragedy would only ensue 2 days later with FYB Trigga. The incident which ended with Trigga losing his life and all other FYB members who were present getting shot. What happened to the crib where FYB members were hanging out? First, the crib they were all hanging out was FYB Archie's. Archie was another FYB member who passed some time ago. His passing left a serious impact on FYB J Mane as well as the rest of the crew. Everyone on the internet knew where the crib in which he and the crew was because Trigga shared his location on Instagram Live. A lot of people found this to be a huge mistake on Trigga's end. Some folks on the internet who thought Trigga was gunned down by his ops said that the scuffle wouldn't have happened if they didn't know where Trigga was at. Take a look at this comment. When you know we're in a live war zone, what kind of arrogance and immaturity does it take to give away your location? So many examples to go by when the same mistakes been ending lives, rest in peace. However, that story doesn't add up completely, and you'll soon see why. Sharing his location on Instagram Live didn't have much to do with why he ain't with us no more.
My big brother. On my daughter, we out for my big brother. We ain't trying to talk. Oh, boy. We gonna get it crack. We gonna walk the nigga down straight.
So it hit different. You can go there anytime. Now this one time, one of the guys, you ain't seen them in a minute. Now, motherfucker come around, now you try to take his pipe.
There's one detrimental detail from the whole scuffle story that came from J Mane that helps debunk that idea. J Mane said that among the group which got together at the crib, there was one old YFB member who wasn't hanging out with the crew for some time. This guy was the one Trigga started a problem with. This is how it allegedly went down. Everybody in FYB already knows that Trigga liked taking pipes from his homies, and that day at the crib, it was no different. Trigga took his old FYB member's pipe. However, that's not all. He pointed it at him as soon as he took it. We speculate on a couple of reasons why he decided to point the gun at this guy. Some believe that this old FYB member snitched on someone in the crew. On the other hand, some believe it happened because he was texting Trigga's girl. Unfortunately, we can't say for sure what his motives were, but the fact that Trigga pointed the pistol at this dude definitely changed everything. Because he felt threatened and endangered, this old FYB member took out his second one, the one that Trigga had no idea about. As he pulled out this burner, he took a number of shots at Trigga directly.
Trigga got shot in his chest, in his side, and in his groin, bro.
To be precise, FYB Trigga got hit 3 times. FYB J Mane, Trigga's brother, says that Trigga got shot in his chest, his side, and his groin. What happened after that is just theory. We know that Monte, Thad, and Benji all suffered injuries and were hospitalized, but nobody knows for sure how that happened. Not even J Mane could say for certain. We got a couple of ideas though. One source says that the culprit probably ran away as soon as the first 3 shots were fired. Having been confused over what just happened, Trigga probably used the burner he stole from the FYB member and fired at the rest of the FYB members that stayed there. Why did he do it? Perhaps he thought it was them who gave the culprit this second burner? Who knows, man? There's some credibility to this idea because, as J Mane said it himself a couple times, Archie's crib was like a safe haven, not a place where something might go down. The fact that this dude had a second burner, maybe it was suspicious in his eyes, especially in the heat of the moment. Then another idea as to why he might have targeted his own dudes was the fact that he was angry at them for not hopping in and defending him. If the shooter went running as soon as he shot Trigga, and this is the part that most people agree on, why didn't they go after him? They could have stopped him immediately. Lastly, some believe he was trying to get the guy who hurt him but missed completely and ended up injuring his own homies. That one is also a possibility. Regardless, why they're hit is kind of hard to tell at this point, honestly. Perhaps one of the members who were involved will contribute later on with more info, but as of now, we only get to pick and choose. After the scuffle, Trigga was rushed to the hospital by his girl. The rest of the FYB members also ended up in the hospital and were all held at Trinity. Some of them were in critical condition, like Benji. He got hit in the chest and people weren't sure if he was going to make it or not. Luckily though, he made it through and he's recovering. Same goes for Monte and Thad. There's still a lot to be said about that scuffle. More than anything, we got to look at the fact that the scuffle could have been easily avoided. It all began after Trigga decided to steal the shooter's burner. Had he not gone for that burner, we may be telling a different story. A peaceful one. Trigga's behavior got him in trouble though. He kind of brought it on himself. This did piss off J Mane a little bit too, and he made that part clear. Not only that, but he put his whole crew in jeopardy. He clearly didn't think enough before taking that dude's burner. Some fans agree with that. Yeah bro, it sounds like it was his own fault trying to punk the wrong person, but rest in peace, dude was talented. Trigga's brother also spoke on something that other people noticed pretty quick. The 3 letters in front of your name of the gang members don't mean that much. The same people you find close can turn on you any day. FYB boys weren't that good with each other, as someone might be thinking. They might have all been members of the same group, but that's not the same as being day ones. There's a big difference between a brother and a friend. Everybody knows that. In the end, we can't say that Trigga was a hip-hop artist that put a lot of effort to reach his status. Many young people found him as an inspiration, especially those who desire a career in the music industry. An interesting thing about Trigga is that nobody really knows his legal name. In fact, there's very little information about his personal life, as he made sure to always use his moniker wherever he went, and no matter what social media he used. He was known to the world as FYB Trigga, and that's how he wanted people to know him. It goes to show that he valued his privacy a lot. His family and his friends will miss him the most. The fact that he's not with us anymore is even hard to bear once you take into account that he's got 2 kids, and they're both very young. But what do y'all think about all this? Would Trigga still be alive if he had done things differently that day? Let us know what your take is on the whole situation right down in the comment section below. And as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.